is that they have put pressure on you that they haven't put on anyone else in order for their own financial purposes, utilizing his statements that he wants to buy your unit. So the board has, or at least members of it, have financial gain to try to run you out because they want your unit. How close is his unit to yours?
He has 2 units now, so he has unit 7. So there's 2. He has 11 and 7.
Right.
He's bought the last. He bought in 6 years ago. Was on the board a year later. He bought the other one 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
So, and now I'm going to warn people next board meeting: don't sell this fucker your unit for $600,000 or $700,000. They're worth $1 million. Yeah. What I've done, I'm having a realtor come over today. I'm renting it for all next year because I'm going to be in China for summer vacation next year. Yeah. So I'm going to recoup some of my $120K investment. Yeah. By the way, that's the number. So I gutted this whole place. I spent a lot of money. And what percentage of that is overhead for this shit? Yeah. Seriously. Anybody with common sense. So when I talk about tack on the insurance, by the way, the first floor, what started this was 2 years ago in the winter when my pipes burst. The building insurance never ponied up. My insurance company paid. They should have paid some. They didn't. So that never. And Kevin, the former board, I got emails showing. He said, "Yeah, I'll get you the guy to call you from Chubb." No one ever followed up. Yeah. So the current president committed to me in an email. The guy from Chubb would call me. I never got a call. No. And I tried to call a couple times and nothing. I let it go because I did get some money from Liberty.
Paid, and then Liberty.
But I would have got more. But they didn't. So they denied me my rights again. Yeah. And other people have exercised that policy. One guy got $70K of stuff from building insurance years ago because his heater blew up on the 3rd floor and it went down. Something, the connection from the building pipe to there. So they've had payouts with others, but I could have got something. Now I'm of the mind I don't like using insurance unless I have to. Because if you do, you end up paying sooner or later, right? So that's another factor in this. So you let me know if that's...
Well, I think you gave up your rights when you didn't pursue it then.
Okay. I did, no, but I did, but Chubb ignored me. They gave me a phone number and Chubb ignored me.
But you never brought an action against Chubb. You don't know if Liberty went after Chubb. You never,
They did. They did pursue trying to get more, and they wrote me a letter and said, no, it's just not enough. They said, we could get something, but it's not enough to make it worth our while.
Not worth it. So you made a decision, but...
Okay, so I'm done with that. Okay. All right, so I'll get you the scene pictures seem important. Secondly, getting the engineers thing about exactly what we're going to do. Do I need him to spec out the endpoints about how...
Because it's one thing the judge is going to look at this practically and say, all right, he says you can lift it and it won't touch the roof. But we're on the 3rd floor. Is all the stress load still... Is what's there in the walls from 3 to 1 going to handle the stress load? I don't know personally if moving the beam from here to here increases the stress load on that beam. I would think not, but I don't know.
I'm going to let my attorney listen to what you just said to me. Not my attorney, my engineer, so that he can frame the letter, because he did two other letters, and finally the letter that allowed me to do the final ripping out the interior walls. Should I proofread, get you to give an eyeball before we have him stamp his approval?
Absolutely.
What it says, you can, okay, so I'll get a draft from him.
Because if I have any questions, or I think the judge is going to have any questions, we can have him answer. Because the judge is going to want to know that moving this is doable, and I think part of that is that it's not attached on either side, right? That moving it will not affect the integrity of the roof, right? Even though in the middle now you've changed your stress load point.
I think that what I can get my engineer to say definitively is that this will actually make it stronger, because the weight of this is what's helping keep, but it's these sticks in between that help. With it right up against
I just did a renovation.
It'll be stronger.
I did a renovation to my house, right? I had a wall similar to this, right? And this beam was down lower, right? And we did the exact same thing. We took this beam and we moved it up about the same distance. And I took this beam and moved it up and transferred the load, the end loads, through the end walls, the same way you're doing it, right? And
there's going to be a big, the ellipses show that's where the very strong addition is going to be.
Yes, but if you put the strong addition here,
along with the firewall to protect things.
Yeah,
combine those two, by the way.
Because now you have a space here, and we're closing this space in order to close this space, so it makes a fire gap here instead of just an open shut. Yeah, yeah. But the question becomes, if I strengthen the top here, right?
Yes.
Is the load beneath enough? In other words, you move this up, and you're going to put 4 2x4s here that's going to rest on whatever beam is here,
Right.
To hold that. What does that do to the load down below? And what we have there is sufficient. He'll probably say it doesn't change anything.
It doesn't. There's nothing here.
Well, you got your cross beam here. These are going to rest on something, right?
Yep.
So the roof is now resting on this cross beam, which isn't going to change, and it should be the same. So, but that's what I need him to say, right?
Right. Okay.
The
So
diversion of
we need to talk about the ellipsis. What's going to happen in there with something? He's going to need to draw me up a very detailed drawing for that. It's
what's
like
happening here, but how does this? What's happening in the ellipse? How does that affect what's below?
Do I need my engineer for that? Can I have the guy who's done my construction?
No, construction guy doesn't know anything.
All right. Okay. So I need to have the engineer spec out so the construction guy can build what I'm telling.
Yep.
My construction guy could do the spec.
I'm sure he could, but
Because he knows exactly what to do with
where's
it.
his degree? Where's his degree?
Puerto Rico, working since 9 years old, building houses. He knows how to.
Yeah, that doesn't fly with the judge, right?
Gotcha.
The judge can say, "Hey, listen, they've had a
gotcha.
structural engineer look at this, or a physical engineer look at it, and that engineer who has
I may have to have him. I actually am going to have him come out in person again. It's $700 rather than $100 or $200. But give him all the time. So I'll have him come out, another whole new, same guy, or should I get another one?
no, use the same guy who's the knowledge.
I will.
And they've accepted him because they allowed you to take down all the interior walls. So how can
It's
they say?
It's true. We have the history.
Yeah, so how can they say
you're right.
this guy doesn't know what he's
100%.
talking about? You accepted him now, before, now he doesn't know what he's talking about.
That simplifies this. We're going to have him focus on this part.
Yeah.
We already know about this.
Focus on this part and what that does
The seam.
down here.
Yeah.
Down below the seam, below the beam, where the beam currently is. Moving this beam, how does that affect below? And does below have enough structural integrity to hold whatever change we're doing? My opinion is there is no change, but I want him to tell me what his opinion
We both
is.
know that the answer is yes, but we want
And
the proof
that
of
moving the beam from point A to point B will have no impact on the other
anything
units.
below.
It's not going to cause, and the side units.
Sure.
It's not going to cause a roof to buckle, which is going to cause cracks on your neighbor's units.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
That's what the judge want to hear.
I'll have him come out and redo
Nothing
it.
I'm going to do is going to cause them to have all of a sudden settling issues on their side.
He won't have to come out again. He's been out already.
He's been out a
He'll be able
million
to take
times.
the pictures
Yeah.
and draw up exactly what.
Yeah.
Here's so we'll have the detail of what the construction guy. Here's what he's got to do. These kind of wood. Here's how. Okay, so I'll do that.
Yeah. We need to tell the judge, the engineer feels that this can be done, it won't impact the building, and it's not going to impact your neighbors.
Now,
That's what judge wants to hear.
if the judge says that's all good and we get everything, is he going to put conditions on? You have to pledge your shares because
No.
what if the construction guy fucks up and there's a big hole and there's damage on either side?
Under your proprietary lease, if someone puts a lien on or you damage your property,
I'm already.
you can be additional rent, and if you don't pay your additional rent, then at that point they
Okay,
can
so we're
foreclose.
covered already.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's already in there.
Okay. I think we're-
If you went with a sledgehammer and broke everyone's front door down, under that lease, you've damaged property of the common property, and you are responsible for that property.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to get you.
Rewriting what we've already done. You know?
All right, so I'm going to get you the new engineer thing about this, in particular this. Okay, so that'll be good. The seam drawing, the pictures, you want those?
Yes.
I'm going to get you stuff on the back of the wall. So
Yeah, so we can
showing
show
the lines running into the common
into the
area.
common area.
Okay, those three things. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you've already, for all intents and purposes, pledged your shares. By signing a proprietary lease, you have pledged your shares that you will fulfill the terms of that lease.
You know, I'm going to respond to all. I haven't said anything about that email, the threat. I didn't respond. I didn't. I had a big one planned. My wife said, "Shut your fucking mouth."
Yeah.
For once, I listened to her, and I went, and I'm glad. So, but at the next annual meeting, I am going to bring it up because I want to still make an offer to pay them to do the door wall. I may even have a buyer that wants to pay $1.2 million if I put a door wall in. They can get rid of me.
Well.
But so there's going to be follow-ons. So, but I'm going to bring all this stuff. I own villagesdoingmontauk.com. I am going to put pictures because I'm renting it because I'll be in China. I probably won't sell it. It's too much effort, too much time. I love the place.
Yeah.
It's hard to part with something you love.
Yeah.
But there may be follow-on stuff with all this. We'll see. Because what if I do decide to sell and I get a guy for 1.2 million? The last sale was 700K. What if I get an outrageous price and he wants a balcony and they decide I may need your involvement in that? And now, forget the balcony. If I get that price, Sal will shoot it down because I think he wants to buy the whole building and ultimately put in a little restaurant and make it back into a motel. That's what I believe.
That ain't happening.
No.
Good luck.
If he knows somebody out there in Hampton.
Nah, no way. No way is Montauk, Citizens for Montauk.
Remember, the C of O is a motel right now, today.
Yeah, but not with a restaurant. He can't even put the septic in there to service a restaurant. Much less the parking requirements to service a restaurant. You know? No way.
I think he's got ulterior motive. That's 3 units out of 12. That's 25% of the building.
What's he just rents?
If it's his underveg, maybe he wants to get the whole thing and put up a mansion.
Or maybe because
if you do the math, at 700K times 12, the building's what, 8 million?
Yeah.
If you could get what I'm getting, what I think I am going to get if I were to, it's civilian co-ops are that way.
He could.
He might want to bite off changing the C of O. If I can get 50%, I can change the C of O, and I'm going to make a fortune.
Oh, yeah.
He's there to make a fortune, so I'm going to bring that up at the annual meeting. Make sure everybody don't sell this fucker unit for no 700K like everybody else has been doing.
If he controls the whole property, he could convert it into. Listen, what's he getting for a rental unit for each one? How much are you going to rent it for?
I'm going to get double what they're getting. 2,500 a week. I want 20,000 a month. I'm going to try to get 40. Yeah, and I'm looking globally. I'm not looking for no local middle of the island renter that wants to. I want somebody. I got $10,000 worth of furniture sitting on top of the third floor. I bought Herman Miller chairs. You should see it. It's fucking gorgeous.
You don't want to.
I'll send you one little just to show. Look, I planned this 15 years ago.
Yeah.
This wasn't a fly by the seat thing. Maybe. I didn't just do this to speculate.
Yeah.
So there'll be they won't. I'm just going to rent it now, but. So there may be hassle with this guy.
Yeah. But they're doing $2,500 a week.
This year was slow though. Bad year this year. Fortunately, I'm upscaling. I only want one renter. Yeah. One renter, whether it's 2 months or the whole season. And I'll find somebody.
They're renting to the Jersey Shore. You want to rent to?
I want to rent to somebody. I'm looking. My wife's she's from China. We're going there. She's going to try to find a Chinese renter that's coming from mainland. Mm-hmm. So she speaks Japanese too. So we're going to try Japanese and Chinese. I got a lot of European colleagues. I work for Thomson Reuters. Most of my buddies are in London. Yeah. And I rented to a monthly European before, so I'm trying to upscale. So I'm hoping it'll work out. But
you get $40,000 for the summer.
I think I can get 30 for the whole summer. Maybe a little more.
So if you get 30, right? And if let's say he's matching you for some reason, still 30 is not. It still takes him a while to make up that $700,000. You would have to, and to try to get all the units is a long,
No, if he can get 50%, he can change the C of O to himself because he's got the vote. He's got all the shares.
How is it changing the C of O to what?
From a motel to a high-end boutique thing.
No, it's the same. The C of O is the same. The classification.
I know that. Look what happened at Gurney's. What they did. They carved out $4 million units from what used to be not so great, right? I mean, they did well, right?
They could, if he could combine some units and then you combine units and then maybe you could increase the value. I think if you combine two.
In Manhattan, that's a common. My wife and I did it with our place. We got 40p. We are now getting two.
You get the 6 units. You put 3 houses. Essentially what would be a townhouse.
They're 900 square feet now. If you had 1,800 together, like I've talked to 3 and 5. Hey, come to me first. Don't go to a realtor. What if, But they probably wouldn't allow me to get more units because they're afraid I'll tear down more shit.
If you make those 1,800 square feet, you're right. You could.
I would want to make all glass, cave the door walls in and merge it. Mm-hmm. If you have 50% of the shares, you could do that shit.
Good. Yeah.
You control. They're going to give you.
I have someone who owns a proprietary lease sort of situation. They own 78% of the shares.
You ever heard of anybody offering 50K to a co-op to get I want the door wall 50K. They're hurting for money. You think? I think they'll turn it down, but if they do, I should use you in the negotiation because there should be some legal contract about me paying them 50K. Yeah. And I put it right. Yeah. I shouldn't just fly by the seat of my pants. I don't trust these guys.
No. But I think their whole.
I want to keep you posted because my end game is to get a door wall still there. Yeah. And I'm tenacious. I've been at how long you and I. You know how I am. Yeah. Look how much how much time I've spent souping over this shit, right?
Frankly, you've gotten a lot done. through your tenacity, right?
Yeah,
because
no,
we've gone full circle. We started out with this space, then you wanted to add this, this, and this, and you pretty much got everything done, and we're back to the ceiling part. So
I was hoping that that first year we'd be where we are now, and then but you warned me. You said it would take 3 years.
Yeah. And we were that close on settling this. We were really close on getting you that ceiling.
So it is sells to the center, and now
we were that close.
I'm glad it didn't happen though, because the window, I got the window now. You know what? Doubling the size of the window, it's a hand job. Getting the ceiling is better than the window. I learned that.
How'd you get the?
They collapsed from the double hung. Now it's in there. Today I went and tried it for. It's beautiful. It's just a tilt and turn. It comes inward.
Yeah.
Your little angle. It's the European shit, and it's just fucking the breeze now rather than outward.
Yeah.
The breeze. It's what 2.5 feet.
Yeah.
It's cut in half with the fucking crappy window.
Yeah.
Right now my dog even went, what the fuck, man? Now it's like a.
It's a window.
So it's awesome. It's awesome.
But it's the same size, or do they?
It's the same size, 30 by 60.
Yeah.
It just comes inward. It's all wood.
Inward.
It's tilt and turn.
Yeah.
So $2,200 for a 30 by 60 window, but it is so heavy. It opens nice. The tilt stuff. I used those in Paris when I went for a few times. So they're great windows. Maybe you do so much. I hear you do a lot of construction, or you guys said, look what you've done here.
Yeah.
So you guys have tilt and turns anywhere? A lot of the big homes do, right?
No, everything in here is slides.
But you have homes of your own, or do you?
Yeah.
I never had a tilt and turn before.
Yeah.
I love it to death. You know. So my remodeling, I'll send you. You'll see a picture of how it looks. It turned out better than I ever thought. 15. When I walked in there, 15, I said, someday I'm gonna cut this fucker, because it looks to me like a Soho loft. And I lived in a Soho loft 6 years while I went to NYU. You know? So I even have a picture. That picture you'll see in there. It's a Lichtenstein. But he left the studio. That came from 100 Prince Street, right in right in the loft. So that third floor, that's the selling point. That's why I think I'll be able to get a killer rent.
You got a beautiful
Three couples can split a month. I might have to do 2 months, but if they could split 30K, 3 couples, that's 10K for a whole summer.
Yeah.
3 couples. You take turns on the top floor, because the bottom 2 floors are
you get lots of view.
22 feet across. My kid, he learned to walk in that space. A studio, a musician could record the sound. The sound is awesome, with all the wood around. I could not believe the difference with 1.5 inches of wood, because I got 3/4 subfloor, 3/4 hardwood. And then I put a wall of cabinets from Canada. They're all wood. So there's 14 feet of cabinets. So there's wood surrounding this. You see the stairwell's all wood. My brother could come and you'd record here. You could record music in my third floor. The sound is so good. And if I get that ceiling now, even better. Because we're going to put big wood beams across. Should I give you what I'm going to do, the finished product?
Yeah.
So I have my contractor sketch up something?
Yeah. So show what it is.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I appreciate all the years of patience.
We're working.
Am I one of the longer cases for such a shitty, trivial thing?
Yeah.
Isn't this trivial?
Yeah. And I think that's why you're one of the longer cases, right? Honestly.